Welcome to the Deep Dive. We synthesize knowledge, making complex topics understandable and, well, actionable. Today, we're tackling something fundamental, building habits that actually stick. We're diving into the atomic habits framework.
That's right. An atomic habit is a great term. It means, something incredibly small, like an atom. But also, like an atom, it's a source of immense power. The whole idea is that these tiny, tiny changes compound into really remarkable results over time.
Small unit, huge power. I like that. And the story behind it, the author James Clear's own experience, is pretty powerful proof. It wasn't some gradual improvement story initially. It started with, a disaster.
Yeah, it really did. A freak accident in high school. A baseball bat hit him square in the face. The injuries were, frankly, terrifying. Skull fractures, shattered eye sockets, brain swelling. He was even in a medically induced coma for a bit.
Wow. And recovery wasn't quick. 8 months before he could even drive again because of double vision.
Exactly. And he didn't just bounce back athletically either. Got cut from the varsity team the next year.
Right, but here's the thing. 6 years later, this is the incredible part, he's named the top male athlete at his university. ESPN Academic All-America team member. That leap from near-death to elite athlete wasn't luck. It was built, brick by tiny brick, on small habits he started in college. Things like consistent studying, getting enough sleep, regular weight training.
It just shows how the quality of your life now often just mirrors the quality of your daily habits. So the mission for you listening today is to really pull apart how these small, consistent habits work, how they genuinely determine your future potential no matter where you're starting from.
Okay, so let's get into how. The power of consistency really starts with the math, doesn't it? Compounding.
Absolutely. The numbers are kind of staggering when you look at them. If you get just 1% better each day for a year.
You'd think 365% better, maybe?
Right, but it compounds. You actually end up 37 times better.
37 times. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It is. And the opposite is just as dramatic, maybe more so. Get 1% worse each day, and you basically wipe yourself out, down close to zero. It's compound interest for self-improvement.
And there's a famous real-world example of this, isn't there? The British cycling team.
Oh, yeah, a classic case study. Back in 2003, they were, well, pretty average. No Tour de France wins in like a century.
So they brought in this coach, Dave Brailsford. And his whole philosophy was different.
Totally different. He called it the aggregation of marginal gains. Forget big breakthroughs. Just improve everything by 1%.
Everything. Like, what sort of things are we talking about?
We're talking obsessive detail, redesigning bike seats for slightly better comfort, testing fabrics in wind tunnels, obviously, but also things like electric heated overshorts for optimal muscle temp.
Heated shorts. Okay.
And get this, they hired a surgeon just to teach the team the best way to wash their hands to cut down on colds.
No way.
Yep. They even figured out the optimal mattress and pillow for each rider and brought them on the road. Just tiny, tiny tweaks everywhere.
The dedication is amazing. And the results.
Astonishing, really. 5 years later, 2008 Olympics, they took 60% of the cycling gold medals.
Wow.
And then they dominated the Tour de France, won it 5 times in 6 years between 2012 and 2017.
So those 1% gains, they really added up.
They absolutely did. It's like that airplane analogy in the book, a plane flying from LA to New York. If the pilot adjusts the nose just 3.5 degrees south, leaving LA tiny change, you wouldn't even notice it.
Yeah.
They don't land in New York. They land in Washington, D.C. That small shift changes the destination entirely.
Okay, so that 3.5 degrees, that's like a small shift in your daily habits.
Exactly. Which leads to a really key insight. Your trajectory is more important than your current results.
Right, like your weight today or your bank balance, that's just a lagging measure of past habits.
Precisely. Your outcomes are just the accumulated result of what you do repeatedly. You really, really get what you repeat.
Which kind of flips the script on how we usually think about change, doesn't it? We tend to focus so much on the goal.
We do. Everyone sets goals. Lose 20 pounds, run a marathon, write a book. But focusing only on the goal can actually be, well, counterproductive.
How so? Goals feel motivating, like they give you something clear to shoot for. Why is that focus potentially a mistake?
Well, the key distinction is between goals and systems. Goals are about the results you want. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. Think about a sports team. The goal is the championship, sure, but the system is everything else. Recruitment, daily practice, player conditioning, coaching strategies.
Okay.
The legendary coach Bill Walsh used to say, if you get the system right, the score takes care of itself. Focus on the process.
That makes sense. So what are the specific problems with being too goal-focused?
There are a few big ones. First, winners and losers often have the exact same goals. Think about the Olympics, everyone wants gold.
Right, so the goal itself doesn't separate them.
Exactly. What separates them is their system, their training, their preparation, their consistency. Focusing only on the goal ignores the system, and you fall victim to survivorship bias. We only see the winners who had that goal.
Good point. Like with British cycling, the goal didn't change. The system of marginal gains did.
Precisely. Second problem. Achieving a goal is often just a momentary change. You hit the goal weight, great. But if you haven't changed the habits, the system, that got you overweight in the first place.
You'll just gain it back. Like cleaning a messy room, it looks good for a day, but if you don't change your messy habits...
You're right back where you started. You treated the symptom, not the cause. And the third thing is, goals can restrict happiness.
How?
It sets up this if-then thinking. Once I achieve X, then I'll be happy. But happiness gets deferred. With a systems approach, you can feel satisfaction just by running the system, by showing up and doing the work each day.
So you're not constantly chasing a future state of happiness.
Exactly. The process itself becomes rewarding. So the bottom line is pretty clear. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
Okay, that's a powerful idea. Systems over goals. But then the book takes it even deeper, right? To the level of identity.
Yes, and this is arguably the most critical piece for long-term change. There are these three layers. Outcomes, what you get, processes, what you do, and identity, what you believe about yourself.
And the argument is that real change has to happen at that identity level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because behavior that's fundamentally out of sync with your self-image, it just won't last. You might force it for a while, but eventually you revert to who you believe you are.
Can you give an example, like the smoking one?
Yeah, that's a perfect illustration. Someone trying to quit smoking might say, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. That's outcome or process focused. They still see themselves as a smoker who's resisting.
Okay.
But someone operating from identity says, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. It's a fundamental statement about who they are.
That feels different, more permanent.
It is. And interestingly, the word identity literally means repeated beingness. Every action you take is like a vote, casting a ballot for the type of person you want to become.
So each tiny habit reinforces that identity. Going for a run isn't just about the run. It's a vote for, I'm a runner.
Precisely. The goal isn't just to read a book, it's to become a reader. Not just to run a marathon, but to become a runner. You have to cultivate the identity first, or at least alongside the habit.
Okay, so identity is the foundation. Now let's get practical. How do we actually build these habits? The book lays out the 4 laws of behavior change.
Right, derived from the basic habit loop: cue, craving, response, reward. And the 4 laws are basically rules for hacking that loop. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. We should start with the first law, which is foundational. Make it obvious.
Make the cue obvious. But the tricky part is so many habits are unconscious, right? They run on autopilot.
Totally. Like that story of the clerk cutting up a customer's real credit card because they were so used to cutting up old gift cards. Pure autopilot.
So how do we fight that? How do we make the unconscious conscious?
One technique mentioned is pointing and calling. It comes from the Japanese railway system. Conductors literally point at signals, speedometers, whatever, and call out the status. Signal is green.
Okay.
Why? It forces conscious awareness, and it works. It's been shown to reduce errors on the railways by something like 85%.
Wow. So for our habits, the equivalent is...
The habit scorecard.
Yeah.
Just take a day and list out your routine actions. Wake up, check phone, make coffee, shower, and then mark each one, plus, minus, minus, neutral. The key question as you categorize is, does this behavior help me become the type of person I wish to be? That brings awareness.
Okay, awareness first, then what? Step 2 for making it obvious.
Clarity. You need a concrete plan. This is where implementation intentions come in. Vague goals like I want to exercise more are easy to put off.
Right.
But a study back in 2001 found something fascinating. People who made a specific plan using the formula I will behavior at time and location were far more likely to follow through. Like over 90% compared to much lower rates for vague intentions.
So instead of I'll meditate, it's I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. Super specific.
Exactly. It removes the ambiguity and the need for in-the-moment decision-making. The decision's already made.
Makes sense. What's the next tactic under make it obvious?
Habit stacking. This uses the momentum of habits you already have. It taps into something called the Diderot effect. You know, when you buy one new thing and suddenly you need other new things to go with it.
Oh yeah, the new couch makes the old rug look shabby.
Right. Habit stacking applies that chaining effect. The formula is simple. After current habit, I will new habit.
So you link the new desired habit to one that's already automatic.
Perfect. Like after I pour my morning coffee, I will do 10 push-ups. Or after I take off my work shoes, I will change into my workout clothes. You're latching the new habit onto a firmly established cue.
Clever. It uses existing momentum. Okay, what's the final piece for making cues obvious?
Environment design. This one is huge. The book says, environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. We think willpower is everything, but our surroundings have a massive influence.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Remember that cafeteria study? They wanted people to drink more water and less soda. They didn't put up posters or lecture anyone.
What did they do?
They just added more water bottle stations, especially right next to the cash registers. Soda sales dropped over 11% just by making the desired choice slightly more obvious and convenient.
So redesign your space to make the good habit cues visible and the bad habit cues invisible.
Exactly. Want to practice guitar more? Don't leave it in the case in the closet. Put it on a stand right in the middle of your living room. Want to take vitamins? Put the bottle right next to your toothbrush.
Makes the cue unavoidable, like that fly sticker in the urinal example.
Huh? Yes. That little sticker apparently significantly reduced cleaning costs in airports just by giving guys something to aim for. It made the target obvious.
Simple but effective.
And part of environment design is the one space, one use rule. Try to only sleep in your bed, not watch TV or work there. Only eat at the kitchen table, not on the couch. Your brain starts to strongly associate that context with that specific habit.
Train your brain through association. Got it. Okay, this has been packed with useful stuff. Let's try to wrap up the core takeaways.
Sounds good. So number one, I'd say, is the power of compounding. Those tiny 1% improvements really do add up exponentially over time. Don't dismiss small changes.
Right. And second, focus on your systems, not just your goals. Your daily processes determine your long-term results. Goals are fleeting. Systems are enduring.
Third, true change. The kind that lasts is identity change. Focus on becoming the type of person who does those habits naturally. Every action is a vote for that identity.
And fourth, use the 4 laws. We focused today on the first one, make it obvious, using things like the habit scorecard, implementation intentions, habit stacking, and environment design.
But there's one last crucial concept we need to touch on, which explains why people often quit too soon. It's called the plateau of latent potential.
Yes, this is important. It addresses that feeling when you're working hard, but seeing 0 results, right?
Exactly. It feels like you're spinning your wheels, like the effort is wasted.
So what's the analogy for that?
Think of an ice cube sitting in a room that's below freezing, say 25 degrees Fahrenheit. You start slowly warming the room, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31 degrees.
Still a solid block of ice. Nothing looks different.
Right. Absolutely no visible change. It feels like all that energy being added is doing nothing, but it's not wasted. It's being stored. Then you hit 32 degrees, and bam, the ice starts to melt. The breakthrough happens.
But the breakthrough wasn't just the final degree. It was the result of all the accumulated work that came before.
Precisely. That's the plateau of latent potential. The most powerful outcomes are delayed. Mastery really does require patience. You have to keep going, even when you don't see immediate results.
Understanding that plateau can make all the difference in sticking with it.
It really can.
Yeah.
Because the work you put in during that plateau phase, when it feels pointless, that's actually what makes the eventual breakthrough possible. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. Are you willing to be like the stonecutter? The one who hammers away at a rock maybe 100 times without seeing a crack. But then, on the 101st blow, it splits in two. And it wasn't just that last hit, but all the pressure built up by the 100 that came before.
Keep hammering. Keep casting those votes for the person you want to become, even when the results aren't visible yet.
That's the essence of it. Focus on today's 1%.